History books love to tell us that wars are won by massive armies and endless resources. We are taught that stone castles are indestructible and heavy armor is impenetrable. But history has repeatedly slapped this official lie right in our faces. From Rome to China, from the gates of Vienna to the deserts of Egypt, the world's richest, most established empires were brought to their knees by a single force. A force that possessed neither massive supply convoys nor left stone castles in its wake. Today, I am not going to tell you heroic tales about Turkish military success. I am going to expose the engineering behind history's most efficient biological war machine. They weren't just good soldiers, they were a walking system that hacked the military doctrines of their era. While a Western knight went bankrupt just preparing for war, how did a Turkish cavalryman fight thousands of kilometers away as if he were in his own backyard? The answer lies not in their swords, but in their stomachs and under their saddles. This story doesn't start on the battlefield. It starts where that boring word logistics turns into a deadly weapon. Look at history. Why did Napoleon fail in Russia? Why did Hitler fail? The cold? Yes, but the real reason was logistics. Armies march on their stomachs. To stop a European army, you didn't need to kill their soldiers. You just needed to cut their supply line. Their horses demanded barley. Their soldiers waited for bread and wine. But the Turks? They deleted this equation entirely. Here lies the first sin of warfare, the dependency of settled armies on nature. The Turks didn't fight nature, they used it as a weapon. What you call famine, they called strategy. That is why we care about this today, because even in the modern world, it is not the big and clumsy that survives, but the agile and self-sufficient. Let's reframe the terminology. The Turkish military system was not a standard army. They were autonomous units. A Western knight's horse is like a luxury sports car. It needs maintenance, special fuel, and a stable. In the winter steppe, that horse dies. The knight is left on foot, paralysed. But the steppe horse used by the Turks, that is a biological tank. In the dead of winter, it digs through the snow with its hooves to find grass. It requires no human feeding. Its logistical burden is zero. And the soldier, in Western armies, a soldier is a liability that must be fed. In the Turkish army, the soldier is his own warehouse. What does he carry? Pastırma, yogurt, dried meat. These don't spoil. They are lightweight and they are energy bombs. I call this ghost logistics. The enemy wants to cut the Turkish army's supply line, but there is no line to cut because the supply is in the saddle. Out of water, out of food. He has mare's milk. He hunts. He resupplies on the spot. The system is not built on dependency on the centre, but on on-site survival. Imagine the scene. Them. The settled empires, moving slowly with tons of weight, hundreds of wagons advancing with arrogance. They think they are the pinnacle of civilization, but in reality they are being crushed under their own weight. And then there is us, the representatives of speed, adaptation and intelligence. Have you ever thought about what happens if a knight's horse gets sick? That knight is nothing. Without a farrier, he is finished. But a Turkish cavalryman, he is his own farrier. He is his own doctor. There is a war here between the status quo and reality. Settled empires want war to be played by rules, gentlemanly and in specific fields. The Turks showed them a bitter truth. War is a game won not by those who follow the rules, but by those who adapt to the conditions. If you are tired of clumsy bureaucracies, slow-moving systems, and structures that are only powerful on paper, the Turkish military philosophy will feel very familiar. This is the victory of the hacker who found the exploits in the system. Now hold on. I'm going to give you the biggest secret. The Turks' real power wasn't their horses or their arrows. The real power was this: the absence of roles. In Western armies, an archer cannot use a sword. A cavalryman is clumsy when dismounted. An infantryman cannot command. Everyone is coded for a single job. But the Turkish soldier, hand him a spear. Close quarter cavalry, hand him a bow. Ranged artillery unit, put armor on him. Shock troop, place him in the center, defense line. Make him a commander, he runs the army. This is modular war theory. In a Turkish unit, if a man falls, anyone can take his place. In a Western army, if the commander dies, the army scatters. In a Turkish army, every soldier is a potential commander because they all graduated from the same school of lifestyle, the steppe. They weren't trained for war. Their lifestyle was war. Hunting is a maneuver. Migration is a logistics drill. For them, there is no distinction between peacetime and wartime. There is only a state of readiness. This state of perpetual readiness is what destroyed empires. Now you know the cheat code. Turkish success in history wasn't just about being brave. It was the art of shedding unnecessary burdens and total independence. Look at your own life today. What are the supply convoys slowing you down? What is the heavy armor rendering you immobile? What is the barley that makes you dependent on the system? The lesson to take from Turkish military genius is this. 1. Lighten your load. Carry only what keeps you alive and moves you toward the goal. 2. Be versatile. Don't rely on a single skill. When conditions change, trust your talent, not your weapon. 3. Be self-sufficient. Don't wait for the system to feed you. Create your own source. Remember, history doesn't repeat itself, but if you don't understand it, it will run you over. Don't be clumsy. Be ready.